Hey, everybody out there, welcome back to 91.8 The Fan. It is I, your favorite holiday-themed host, the DJ Christmas, and I have with me a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself to everybody out there?
I would. Hello, everyone. This is Emily Neves. Uh, Hope you're all doing well today.
I am doing very well, and it
I'm very glad.
seems like it's a pretty nice day for everybody out there today.
Good. Pretty nice here. I hope everyone's enjoying the summer.
Yeah, it's finally kicking in. E3's underway. Everybody's enjoying all the summer announcements, and it's loads of fun.
Woohoo! Awesome.
But before we get too far into detail, I was wondering if you'd be willing to hop in a time machine with me, and we'll go way back when, to when you first decided you wanted to become a voice actor.
I love time machines, so I'm game. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, yes. Hi. I thought I lost you there for a second.
Nope, we're still here. So
Okay.
how did it all begin?
Well, let's see, I guess it was about August of 2008. And I had called, I believe it was still ADV back then, and said, hey, I'm an actor in town. I'm interested in doing some work for you guys. And I'd been waiting to hear from them. And in August, the lovely Stephen Foster called me and said that they had an opening for an audition for a female. And I was thrilled. And I went in and read for Lucia in Kiba. It was a tiny, tiny role. I think I maybe had like 10 Foleys and maybe one line. But yeah, then, once I did that, the work kind of just started coming in. And I worked with Steven a whole lot, which I love because I adore him. And yeah, that kind of brings us up to where I am today. I was a company member at the Alley Theater in Houston while all of that was going on, so I was very busy, which is awesome. But yeah, so now I've kind of branched out. I've been working with some other directors, and I'm just having a great time, and I really love it.
It sounds like a lot of fun. It's always interesting to hear about people who got their start with a series like Kiba. We've talked to a couple other people who worked on that, like Leraldo,
Mhm.
and it's
Mhm.
just always fun for me because I can't really explain why, but I've always just really enjoyed that series, and it's become my favorite.
Yeah, it's a good series, and I think there are a lot of roles in it, and a lot of smaller parts, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of got their first you know tryout.
Definitely. And from there, you moved on to some other big roles like Clannad, and later now with stuff like Angel Beats and Broken Blade. So
Mhm.
you've been pretty busy since then.
I have, I have, and I've gotten to kind of branch out a little bit here lately. I just did Book of Bantora, um, where I played Kirasario, and that was a lot of fun. That was kind of one of my first big comic relief roles. Um, I think Jubei in Samurai Girls she was pretty silly. Um, but I really enjoyed working on Book of Bantora recently, and I just found that character to be so much fun. And I played a lot of really serious, dramatic roles, warrior women, and then little girls. And, I play a lot of oddball characters, like Katomi. She's kind of a weirdo, which I really love. That's a lot of fun for me. But yeah, so Kirisario was really, really a treat for me to be kind of the comic relief of the show for once. So
Well, I keep hearing nothing but good things about Book of Bantora over at Anime Boston. Chris Ayers had nothing but good things to say about it, and I actually won
hmm
the first collection in a Facebook contest, and that came
oh,
in the other
cool.
day. So I'll have to get on that and see what all the hype is
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, I'll be really interested to hear what you have to say about it. I haven't watched it yet. We just got the DVD when we went down to record, I guess, a week ago, and we haven't watched it yet. But Chris said that they did like a screening of the first four episodes, and he told me I got a lot of laughs, which made me happy.
That's very cool. I definitely
Yeah,
can't wait to watch it. I have way too many DVDs that I need to just pop in and power through.
yeah, totally. I know how that goes.
But you mentioned Jubei and Samurai Girls. Was that a little difficult having a character with a split personality?
Oh, I loved that. It was really fun. I don't know. It was a challenge, certainly, because I had to differentiate between the two so much. But it was easier than I expected that it would be. Um, I really enjoyed the scene where the two characters, Master Jubei and the other Jubei, got to talk to each other. It was really neat. We recorded one. I think we recorded the Master Jubei first, and then we went back and I recorded. Like basically I was talking to myself. Um, but it was so much fun. I really loved that show. Like, I know it's a little racy, but it was just a blast. And we all were under aliases. So I was like, oh, I can put my real name on there. I don't care. But my alias is actually my middle name and my mother's maiden name. So I was like, oh, it's not too far off from my actual name. But I'm proud of that show. I like it.
Yeah, I watched that one and I was looking around because I'm like, who are all these new people? And I heard a couple people and I went to some of them like, are you in Samurai Girls? And they're like, well, we used aliases because it's a little more adult than most other series.
Yeah. Meh. It doesn't bother me. I
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's certainly worse stuff out there that you could be
Oh
affiliated with.
yeah,
But
totally, totally.
Samurai Girls is pretty tame compared to some of the other stuff out there.
Agreed. And it's fun too. It's just silly, I didn't find it offensive at all. I just found it really silly and fun, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
as long as somebody is getting enjoyment out of it, that's what counts.
Agreed. Yes.
And other than Book of Bantora, do you have anything that's recent that you're allowed to talk about that you've been working on?
I do actually. Starship Troopers Invasion comes out. I believe that it's set to street in late July. Um, but I don't know that I don't have like a final confirmation on that. But I can't say my character's name or anything like that. But I did facial capture and motion capture for two of the female characters, and I did the voice of one female character. And my husband, Andrew Love, who some of you may know, he did two of the male characters, and then he voiced one of the male characters as well. So we're really, really excited about that. Actually, some of our other friends that are in it are in LA this week, and they're getting to see it, and I'm extremely jealous. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going straight to DVD and Blu-ray, but you'll be able to pick it up, I think, at Target or Best Buy. But I'm thrilled about that. We got to go to Tokyo to do all the facial capture and motion capture, and
Oh,
I
wow.
just fell in love with Tokyo. Yeah, it was amazing. It was almost exactly a year ago, and we all flew over there together and worked long hours, worked really hard, but it was a blast. And I mean, the work was so enjoyable that it didn't even, I was like, I can't believe we're getting paid for this. It's just it's so much fun. But Andrew and I were like, I want to go to Tokyo and live for a year, teach English or whatever we could do to get us over there. We're kind of obsessed with the place now. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I hope you guys will go out and pick it up and watch it and enjoy it. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm sure you will. It's fun. It's not quite as like, the first Starship Troopers film was really almost a parody. It was almost like a parody of a propaganda film or something, but I loved it. I thought the cheesiness of it was intentional, and I thought it was really great. But this, it's a little bit more serious. I mean, there are some cheesy moments that kind of laugh at themselves, but I don't know. There's some really touching story arcs, and the characters are all pretty well drawn, well developed, and you kind of, you feel for them. I hope. I hope you will. I did. So
Well, as long
hopefully
as
everyone will
you
enjoy
felt
that.
for them, that's the main point. That's what counts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I don't feel for the characters, then the audience is definitely not going to. So I guess that is a good
Exactly.
thing.
Which is one of the great things about the industry, where it's gotten so close knit that everybody just really enjoys what they're working on. So you know that the
Hmm.
fans will too.
Yes, and we all root for each other. We're all pretty much friends, there are some people that I've worked with a ton that I've never actually met, but we're like friends on Facebook and we like chat on Facebook. And I'm like, someday I've got to meet you. We've got to like actually have a conversation. But I have a lot of respect for all of the other voice actors that I work with and all of the directors. And it's just, I feel very blessed and very lucky to be a part of something like this, especially because I feel like the fans in this industry, particularly in anime, are so passionate about it, and that it's really moving a lot of times. I'll get people who add me on Facebook or send me messages and tell me that they appreciate my work, and I hope that everyone knows that we really do. At least I do. I really appreciate that. Like if somebody tells me that they watched Angel Beats and they cried, it kind of makes me want to cry a little bit too. And I'm not going to lie, I watched Angel Beats like right after my fall semester ended. I had some time off, and I just watched the whole series, and I bawled like a baby in the end. And I was like, is this weird that I'm laughing or that I'm crying at something that I did? But I don't know. I really love that series a lot. I feel like
I watched it twice, and I cried both times, so you're not the
Oh,
only one.
good. I'm glad. I'm not glad that you cried, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It's that kind of cry.
It really is. But I think on that note, we're going to take a short musical break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, my special guest will still be here. I hope. You will still stick around, won't you?
I certainly will.
All right, so then keep it tuned to your favorite station, 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want and nothing you don't.
Rhythm Bull Rangers present Real Fans of Genius.
Real fans of genius.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Cheapo Hallway Sleeper Guy.
Mr. Cheapo Hallway Sleeper Guy.
At home, it's your mom's basement. But at the con, anything goes. No carpets too stained, no elevator too crowded for you to plop your pudge down to cop a few C's.
Hey, watch where you're walking.
Bathrooms, benches, bus stops, they're all fair game for your gaming glutes. And your 32 cosplay outfits make a swell pillow.
Rubber doesn't wrinkle.
You've mastered the art of snoozing with strangers while standing in line. Why waste money on a hotel room? Or a shower, for that matter.
Yeah!
So take a bow, a no-dose, and a wet wipe, oh slumbering samurai, for your bleary-eyed battle has just begun.
Mr. Cheapo Hallway Sleeper Guy!
This tribute brought to you by the Rhythm Bull Rangers. Embrace your inner otaku.
Hey, everybody out there, welcome back to 91.8 The Fan. I am still your host, the DJ Christmas, and I still have my super special guest. Would you like to give us a sign of life to prove that I'm not just talking to myself?
Hello, this is Emily Neves Love, still here.
Not that I don't enjoy talking to myself, but it's more fun talking to people like you.
Well, thank you. I like talking to myself. I do it all the time.
And we were chatting a little bit behind the scenes where people who aren't awesome don't get to hear. So for next, we'll have to wait for the uncut version. But we were talking a little bit because you have mentioned a couple times now that you are married to a fellow voice actor.
I certainly am.
And
we are coming up.
Yeah, I was a little curious about how that all came together.
Yeah, I would love to talk about it. Our first wedding anniversary is, I guess, about a week and a half away. June 18th, we got married, and we've been together since August of 2008, right about when I started voice acting. Actually, he's kind of the one that suggested to Steven that, that I needed to audition and whatnot. But so in the summer of 2007, I auditioned at the Alley Theater in Houston, Texas. They had an open call, and I just showed up, and I got called back for A Christmas Carol I guess about 3 weeks, a month later. And the night before, it was a couple days before I went into the callback, I went out with some friends to this little dive bar in Houston. And I was sitting with a girlfriend of mine, and the rest of our group was kind of off somewhere else. And this really cute guy walks up, and he asks where one of our friends had gone. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then he walked away, and we realized that our friend whom he was asking for was sitting right behind him. So I was like, that guy just wanted to talk to us. He totally did not want to know where Corey was. So I was like, he's cute. Interesting. So then a few days later, I show up at the alley, and I get off the elevator, and I round the corner, and there's that same guy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is weird. So he was, handing out paperwork and whatnot, and we kind of chatted a little bit at the callback, and we discovered that we both played music, and he was like, you look really familiar. Have I met you somewhere? And I was like, were you at Catbirds a week ago? Duh. And he was like, oh, yeah, you're Corey's friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, yes, I am. So we kind of got to know each other at the alley. That was in August, and then I was around the theater a lot that fall. And then in January, he and I were both understudying roles in different plays. I was understudying the Speaking Janice and Love Janice, about Janis Joplin, and he was the understudy for the Lieutenant of Inishmore. So we had to show up every night and make sure that everybody could go on, and then we could leave. But we would show up and get to talking and like hanging out, and all of a sudden it would be like 8:30, 8:45, and we could have gone home, but we were just having fun talking to one another. So we started playing music together. A group of friends, we all just would get together periodically, like once a week, and Andrew plays piano and guitar, and I sing and play guitar and a little bit of piano, and I can fake it on the drums. But so we would, just get together and hang out, and then in early August, we had been like really good friends, and one night we were just like, I'm in love with you. That's it. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you forever, and ever since I met you, and yada, yada, yada. So, that's kind of how it all started.
That's so
And
adorable.
now here we are. It's pretty cheesy and sweet. And
Well,
one day I'll
it's
probably
nice
write a
to hear.
screenplay.
It's nice to hear just a classic story like that. It sounds like it could be some kind of screenplay.
I think I'm going to turn it into a screenplay. I'm already
Definitely
like
should.
working it out in my head, but it would be a total rom-com. So, one for the ladies out there.
And it makes it pretty easy for you both to get to work since you guys both do the same stuff and you end up in a lot of the
Yeah.
same shows together.
We do. And I remember when we did Legends of the Dark King, a Fist of the North Star story. He was Rao and I was Reyna. I recorded before him, and there's that one moment kind of towards the end where she does something and Rao just backhands her, just like straight up, right across the face. And I went home and I was like, so, you totally backhanded me today. It works. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah, do you want to hear the Foley? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, hold on. Ah! And so, of course, he went in and saw it. And, little things like that. And then I read fans talking about, like, what was his character in Clannad? Akio, I think was his name?
Akio, the dad in Clannad.
Yes. Yeah. And they were like, oh my gosh, could Tommy and Akio are married. That's crazy. I think that's really cute. So.
Yeah, it's always neat to draw comparisons like that, and it happens more and more with the voice acting industry since everybody seems to be getting married. Everybody's such great friends that they just hook up.
Yeah. And Andrew and I, we've gotten to work together on stage a fair amount too, which was really fun. We did, 2009 and 2010. We were both in A Christmas Carol at the Alley, and we played Belle and Fred's wife. Fred is Scrooge's nephew, and so I played Belle and Fred's wife to his young Ebenezer and Fred. So that was really fun that we got to like play husband and wife, but. So it's
almost like you've been practicing.
Exactly. And it made it, there's one scene where Scrooge breaks Belle's heart, and it made that scene so much more heartbreaking. Like, for him, he was like, it's so hard for me not to just run over to you and carry you up the stage, but, Scrooge is a Scrooge, so he would do that.
Yeah, I would imagine that it makes things a little more difficult in those types of situations, but that's half the fun.
Yeah, and in a way it makes it easier, because it's kind of a rough life. When you're on the stage, you work 6 days a week. Your only day off is Monday, and it can get pretty grueling. You don't really get a lot of opportunities to see your friends and family that aren't in the business, so it's kind of nice to have that support of your spouse there to kind of, vent and, keep you focused and kind of keep everything in perspective.
Absolutely. And now...
Indeed.
Now that we've got that heartwarming story taken care of, certainly answered my question. I hope some of the fans out there have learned a little bit more. But you mentioned Starship Troopers. Is there anything else that you are currently in production on that you're allowed to talk about? I know they usually keep you pretty tight-lipped about a lot of stuff.
I think right now, anything that hasn't come out, I don't think I'm at liberty to talk about quite yet. But I do have a couple of projects that I've recently recorded that I'm really excited about. One that I just recorded with Chris Ayres. What's today? I recorded on Monday. I can't talk about what it is yet, but I'm just thrilled about it. I think it's going to be really good. It's a great story, and hopefully the fans will agree.
Well, I
And I
know
think
at
that should
Anime
be coming out in
Boston.
September.
Well, I know at Anime Boston, David Williams gave a whole slate of stuff up until I want to say about August. So hopefully some of that good stuff that we heard about, we will eventually get cast lists and see you on that list.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I know Chris is at Anime Boston too. He said that he's been really busy just doing pretty much every directing thing ever at Sentai, and
Yes,
he puts a lot of love into all his work. So anything that he puts out there will definitely be fantastic.
indeed. He's a joy to work with. He's, so passionate about the craft, and he really makes it a lot of fun, and he makes you just feel good about what you're doing. Every time I leave, I told Andrew on Monday, I was like, every time I record with Chris, I leave feeling like I'm an amazing actor and that I'm contributing something worthwhile to this art form, which is really nice. And, I can say that about all the directors that I've worked with. They're all just really wonderful people. And I've actually known Chris Ayres since I was 17. He
Wow.
choreographed I did a musical in high school called Phantom of the Country Opera, if you can believe it. And I played the villain, and Chris choreographed it, and he choreographed this fantastic tango number that I still really have fond memories of. So it's a small world.
Yeah,
And
it
actually,
really
Maxie
is.
Whitehead, you know Maxie Whitehead, yes, of course,
Yeah, we
everyone
talked to
does. She's
Maxie a couple
amazing.
weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that on her Facebook. I adore Maxie. We were actually roommates in college.
Oh, wow.
And we were, inseparable for like 3 years, just
That's
attached at the hip. And
hilarious.
isn't it weird? And we got into the anime thing kind of, independently of one another. And then it's just a small world. But
Hey,
Maxie's
wait a
amazing, and I
second.
adore her.
You're doing that
What?
thing too.
Doing what thing?
No, it's like you're just talking to Max. It's like, wait, aren't you? Oh,
Oh,
well,
yeah. Hey, we're both doing that. It's
uh,
really
that,
cool.
that's really neat. But do you have any conventions planned for the future where fans can meet you in person?
Oh, yes. Andrew and I are actually doing our very first convention. It's WasabiCon in Wausau, Wisconsin, and we're super excited. We've never done a con before, and we're just so thrilled to, meet all the fans and, I don't know, get out of Texas for a while, too. So WasabiCon, July 27th through July 30th, which will actually cover my birthday. My birthday's July 29th, if you want to send me a card. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, we'll be there in late July, and we're really looking forward to it. We hope that after this we'll be able to do a lot more conventions, so it should be a good time. And
Well,
those people are great.
I'm sure by late July you'll be itching to get out of the heat that is Texas and over to
Oh my gosh, yes.
hopefully cooler Wisconsin. It's a little further north, so hopefully it'll help you
Yeah,
get out of that heat wave that's sure to come.
indeed.
But before we let you go, I
Hmm.
was wondering if you'd be willing to participate in the 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Yes,
Yes, all right.
whatever it is, yes.
Whatever it is, yes.
Yes,
I'm so glad that people are so willing to accept whatever this tradition could possibly be.
within reason. No, I
Well, of
trust
course
you.
it's within reason. We have the other
Of course.
tradition that's behind scenes later, but this one is perfectly tame. We just asked
Great.
everybody if they would be willing to do a radio bump for us.
Yes, I would love to.
Cool. We just asked everyone to say, "Hello, my name is." You insert your name. I do this.
Hmm.
You can list specific characters or just say that you're a voice actor or whatever you want to put there. It's completely free
Hmm.
form and up to you. And you're tuned
Hmm.
into 91.8 The Fan.
Awesome.
And the only
Okay,
catch
I'm
is
nervous.
that we do them live on air, just in case there are any bloopers for all the listeners out there.
Okay.
So
You
when you're
just
all
tell me
set,
when.
we can go for a take one whenever you're ready.
Sure. Hello, anime fans. This is Emily Neves Love. I am a voice actor. You might remember me from such shows as Angel Beats and Clannad. And you are listening to 91.8 The Fan.
Awesome, you got it all in one shot.
Yes.
It's almost like you're a professional voice actor or something.
It's weird, isn't it?
You should think about making that a career. I hear that they might
Hmm.
have a few things out there for somebody
Yeah.
just like yourself. I'm not
Hmm.
100% sure. I've been hearing whispers
No, I
about it
think
though.
I think you're onto something. I think that's something to consider. I think that I'll think about it.
It definitely sounds like something that you could work on in the future, absolutely.
Yes,
But
let's
thanks for
hope so.
coming out. It was a lot of fun talking to you today.
Likewise, Chris.
And do you have any final words for all the fans out there?
Keep watching. Don't pirate because it hurts us and it hurts you. And yeah, just keep supporting us. We really appreciate everything that you guys do. So thank you.
Definitely. And on that note, if you missed any of this interview, shame on you. I can't believe. And why would anybody want to miss this?
For shame.
For shame. But it will be up on our website in the next couple days, so keep an eye out for that and keep your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan because we've got everything you want and nothing you don't.